how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time because the days are evil. Come on, we'll read that one more time.
Read it again, Pastor.
Look carefully, then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time because the days are evil. My topic on today, and I'll be sharing this nugget with you, will be every second counts.
Wow. Wherever you're doing good already, Elder.
God gives you one life here on earth. In fact, the Bible reminds us that no man knows the day or hour of the coming of the Lord. So as I share with you all, I ask you the question, what are you going to do with your time? Because the clock is always ticking. Time is an earnest labor. It never quits. It never takes a break. It just keeps on ticking. We often say to ourselves that I'll do it later. Forsaking the opportunity of the right now because it's easy to think that later will appear. When in reality it's not guaranteed to neither you nor I that will even see it. God gives us the opportunity to invest in time in a way that matters for eternity, to make it count, to make life count. Over 2,000 years ago, Jesus gave a simple but profound invitation to his first group of followers, the disciples. They were a group of fishermen living life, doing their own thing. But Jesus comes along and offers them something better. Something more than just living life and letting time fly by. He came along and said that you are a fisherman, which is fine. But if you choose away, or they could seize the day and choose the opportunity. Yes, Jesus wasn't just giving them the chance to make their life count. He wasn't just giving them the chance to live a missional life. He was showing them a way to not just make every second count, but that why every second matters. The Bible reminds us in Ephesians 5:1 to be imitators of Christ. Jesus knew that his time was important. And he didn't waste his time partying, and he didn't waste it hanging out, but he used it being about his Father's business. In his journey, he was quickly at work. He went from turning water into wine to teaching in synagogues to healing the nobleman's son to revealing that he is the Messiah and casting demons and much, much more. Jesus didn't take his time and wallow in mess. He was not about just talking about it. He was about being about it. Jesus used his time as a reminder in saying that I am the way, the truth, and the life. That no man comes to the Father but by me. As they say today, Jesus understood the assignment. Or in other words, he understood the time capsule of life. That's why he came, so that you and I would have life and have it more abundantly. How we spend our time in our daily life does matter, and it can affect our relationship with God in one way or another, whether we realize it or not. How we use our time, again, it depends on how we draw closer to God in our relationship with him, or move farther and away from God in our relationship with him. That reminds me of John 3:16, where it says, for God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Even when time was winding down, Jesus was making the most of his time as he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Churches, I go to my seat, be reminded that every second counts. Be reminded that the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and all that dwell therein. Be reminded that Jesus came to do the will of the Father, to save sinners, to bring light into a dark world, to bear witness to the truth, to bring great joy, to preach the gospel, to give his life as a ransom for many, to serve, to bind up broken hearts, hearts, to make us partakers of the divine nature, but most of all, to reveal God's glory. Don't ever forget that we are not on our time, but we are on God's time. And that every second, I said every second counts. Amen. Thank you. Amen.